I'm 73 now. Still here. Still thinking too much. Still wishing I'd figured certain things out sooner. Before I tell you what I really want to say today, I need to ask something of you. Stay with me through this one. What I'm about to share isn't comfortable. It's not a neat little life lesson you can slap on a motivational poster. But it changed the entire second half of my life, and I think it might matter to you too. Let me take you back to 1991. I was 38 years old. I had a decent job managing a hardware distribution warehouse outside Philadelphia. Nothing glamorous. I drove a used Chevy. Packed my lunch most days. Coached my son's little league team on Saturdays. From the outside, my life looked normal. Solid. Even successful. But inside, I was empty. Not depressed. Not falling apart. Just hollow. It felt like I was watching my own life through a window. Like the days were passing through me instead of into me. One Tuesday evening, I sat alone in my truck in the warehouse parking lot after everyone had gone home. Engine off. Just staring at the dashboard. And a thought hit me so clearly it scared me. If the next 30 years feel like the last 10, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. Not because I wanted to hurt myself, but because I realized I had built a life that looked right and felt completely wrong. A few days later, I ran into a man named Dwight at a gas station. Retired schoolteacher. We weren't close. Just neighbors who waved while mowing lawns. He looked at me and said, "You look like a man carrying a suitcase he forgot he picked up." That line stopped me cold. Instead of explaining, he invited me fishing that Saturday. I didn't fish. Hadn't touched a rod since I was 12. But I said yes. That Saturday morning, 5 a.m., we stood by Ridley Creek with paper cups of coffee. And Dwight started talking. Not about fish. About life. He told me he'd spent 26 years being Mr. Hobson, the history teacher, and when he retired, he didn't know who he was anymore. No hobbies. No identity outside work. No sense of self when no one needed him. Standing there by that creek, I realized something terrifying. Dwight wasn't telling me his past. He was showing me my future. That's when he taught me the difference between filling a life and building one. I had filled my life, work, routines, responsibilities. But none of it was truly mine. He asked me one question that haunted me for years. What do you do just for the pleasure of doing it? I had no answer. At 38. I didn't have a single thing that belonged only to me. So I changed. Slowly, I signed up for a woodworking class. Tuesday nights. 2 hours. I was terrible. My first birdhouse looked like a raccoon built it during an earthquake. But for those 2 hours, I was just a man shaping wood. Not a provider. Not a manager. Not a fixer. Just alive. I started reading novels again. Walking without destinations. Sitting with people I'd driven past for years without noticing. And something inside me came back online. Not my circumstances. Not my salary. Not my job. Me. Dwight once told me, the worst thing you can do to the people you love is disappear while you're still standing in front of them. That's what happens when you hollow yourself out in the name of duty. You don't leave. You just become a shell. If any of this is hitting close to home, try one small thing. Not tomorrow. Today. Do one thing you used to love, just because you loved it. That part of you is still in there. Quiet. Dusty. But alive. Dwight died in 2012. At his funeral, 14 people spoke. Not one mentioned his career. They talked about who he was. That's the life I want now. Not a resume. Not achievements. Presence. Connection. Being real. I wasted years being a function. Don't waste yours.